In this video, I'm going to show you how you can generate leads on Meta with one simple 13-second video. Let's dive in. All right, so if you're familiar with Meta Ads Manager, this screen will look very familiar to you. This is the back end of Meta. This is where we go to first create that lead gen campaign. For those of you that are experts, this is super familiar. You might want to fast forward a couple minutes, but I want to keep it basic. I want to keep it very understandable for any business owner out there to go into Meta and easily set up a lead gen campaign. So looking at it here, you can see you have these different campaign objectives. Just go straight down to leads. And from there, what we're going to do is essentially collect leads for your business from Meta. And we're going to tell Meta to go put our ads out there in front of people that have a tendency to become a lead. Facebook is always changing things up. You'll see you no longer need to choose a campaign setup. I am going to choose a campaign setup because I like to have that control still. Doing this for years, I understand sometimes Meta will make suggestions to you, but it might not be the best suggestion with your budget. So with that being said, I like to have a little more control. So I'm going to just say, don't show again. All right. So getting into it now, you're going to fix your daily budget. Okay. And your daily budget for this campaign could be, put it something high, because what we want to do is tell the Meta algorithm that we want to spend this money. Meta wants to take your money, so put this number high. It doesn't mean we're going to spend all this money, but I'm going to put it up there at $500 per day. I like giving it a campaign name. We're doing this for a sister agency that does Google advertising. So I'm just going to say Blaze Boost, Google ad campaign. All right. So daily budget of $500. Again, we're not going to be spending $500, but I'm going to set it at that. Now, next, then you want to choose your conversion point. Okay, you have several options here. If you set up your pixel correctly, you can do the website conversion objective. In this case here, I'm going to assume you have a terrible looking website. Okay, let's just assume that you don't have any landing pages or anything like that are converting very well, and you just want to capture leads directly on Facebook. You're just going to go to InstaForms here. Okay. So we're going to generate leads by asking people to fill out a form. And in this case here, I'm going to go to Blaze Boost, our Google Ads agency. And what I want to do here under performance goal is maximize the number of leads. Leads is what we want. Now, next, I'm going to choose my audience. For this specific campaign here, I'm going to choose Canada and the United States. I'm going to give myself a bigger pool of people to choose from. And plus, the Canadian dollar is not doing so great right now, which is great for American clients. So I'm going to say Canada, US, perfect. Then you are going to get down to custom audiences here, okay? Now, Meta likes to do the Advantage Plus, where just basically you give everything there is to give to Meta, and Meta chooses where to allocate your budget and advertisements. In this case here, I like to have a little more control in terms of the audience I'm getting in front of. Yes, we chose the leads objective, meaning that our ads will get in front of people that have a tendency to become leads, but I want to be a little more specific. One thing that happens with Meta is you get an abundance of leads and they're not very good. A lot of times it's because they're not in your target audience. It could be people that are just curious or inquisitive, people looking to start a new business, and trying to understand your process for generating leads, what have you. So in this case here, I want to have a little more control in terms of the audience that we're going after. So I am going to choose, you have the option to choose custom audiences. And custom audiences could be audiences that you may have created in the past, such as, for example, maybe you created a lead page audience, people that opened up a lead page, people that landed on your website. These are all custom audiences. And you have the option for lookalikes as well. These are people that look like people that have landed on the lead page. Okay, that might be a good audience for us for that campaign. So in this case here, for this specific audience, I am going to go ahead and choose lookalike there. And I'm going to choose the other lookalike as well. So I'm choosing these two lookalikes of people that have opened up our lead page. Now, age-wise, I don't have a whole ton of, Blaze Boost's ideal customer profile is not people that are 18 years old. So I am going to bump that up a bit. Typically, they're people that are established businesses, and they're usually at least about 30 plus years old. So we're going to go ahead and do that. And also, we're going to reduce that to 60, okay? Not retirees, not their target audience right now. So 30 to 60 years old, perfect. I'm just going to go up here and actually name it so I can keep things organized. Lookalike audiences, Canada and US. All right. Now, once I have that done, here we're on the ad level. This first ad, I'm just gonna call it lookalike video. Remember, I'm only using one video for this campaign, but I'm gonna use multiple variations of ad copy and multiple target audience as well for this campaign. All right, so we are going to use Facebook and Instagram for this specific campaign. We're going to use one simple video, like I said. We already have a form that's created, but we're actually going to be creating a brand new form. So we'll go through that process. Now, I typically create forms from scratch, but just for the sake of it, I'm going to try this template. I've never actually done it before using a template. So let's go through that. Okay, I have different options here. Capture basic customer information, see if customers are right for your business, use incentives to engage customers, or reach high intent customers. Let's just go see if customers are right for the business, so we can do a little bit of pre-qualification on this form so we're not bombarding James, the business owner. Let's see how this goes. It looks like it's giving some suggested questions here. I do not like these suggested questions, so I'm going to go ahead and put in question 1. How much? 1,000, 1,000 to 2,000. Now here, that is going to be submit form. Awesome. All right, so going through the process here. Question 1, we're going to go with what is your monthly marketing budget? That's the question, right? So now anybody that has under $1,000 a month in marketing is probably a startup, or they're not going to be a good fit for a Google Ads campaign or this Google Ads business we're running ads for. So I'm going to end that page right there for leads. They don't need to go any further. However, if they have a budget of over $1,000, we can start talking. All right. So we're going to get them to question 2. Same with 2,000 to 5,000. We're going to push them to question 2 as well. Going on, let's go with one more answer, and we'll just go 5,000 plus. And that is going to also go to question number 2. Moving on. That seemed pretty easy, pretty simple. Now, question 2, this is where we're going to want to get into contact information, actually. Actually, you know what? Before contact information, we're going to ask the question, are you currently working with a marketing agency? And the answer will say yes or no. And then from there, we're going to submit form. All right, so we're going to end the page for people under 1,000. Now, people that are spending over 5,000, what we're going to do, actually, we're just going to get them to submit a form. End page for leads. Perfect. Let's do end page for lead. Actually, no, let's actually go to a question for that. Let's go to a question for that. Perfect. All right, now, once somebody answers this question, are you currently working with a marketing agency? We're going to end page for leads. Let's do that. Now, moving on, contact info. We definitely want the full name. We definitely want the email. We want the phone number as well. And that's all the information. Rule of thumb, more fields you put in, less leads you're going to get, higher lead cost you can expect. Thus, they will be a more qualified lead, which is why in this situation, I want to add those first couple pre-qualifying questions to make sure they actually have a budget before we take it any further and waste a salesperson's time. All right, so now when they go to this end page after they fill in the form, if they're not a qualified lead, they're going to end up with a pretty generic page, end page for non-leads. Thank you. Based on your answers, this may not be the best fit for you. Visit our website to learn more about our services, blazeboost.ca. Sometimes these descriptions are pretty generic, and I kind of want to make them a little more, I guess, funny and clever. So I love using ChatGPT to come up with some humor, because it's way better than I am at being funny. So in this case here, I'm going to change this description, use my personalized ChatGPT comedian to say, well, based on your answers, this might not be the perfect match, but don't worry, our website has all the details. It's like a dating app of services. Check it out. Okay, that'll work. Perfect. Okay, and that is that. Now, if I go to the end page for leads, give us a call. Someone from our office will be in touch with you soon. In this case here, allow people to call your business. I don't exactly love that. What I really want to have happen is after we capture their information is to go to our website, or the website for Blaze Boost, to learn more about the business. And again, I am going to do the same with this. All right, let's go with perfect. Someone from our team will be reaching out shortly. They're better than a carrier pigeon, promise. Perfect. We'll say check us out instead of give us a call. All right, and then we're going to take them to the website URL. Perfect. The call to action is visit our website. Perfect. Now, after you've created that form, you're just going to want to ensure that you do have that pixel connected to this form, so you can track any of those leads that are visiting your website. Okay. Now, once that's completed, you're pretty much done, except for the simple fact that you need to create that ad, which is very important. So we're going to go ahead and create that ad now. Now, this right here is the ad we're going with. Let me just show you how simple this ad is.
If you're not on the first page of Google, you're not fishing where the fish are. Whether that's SEO or PPC marketing, Blaze Boost has you covered. Get in touch with us and make sure you land the next one.
Do you see how simple that ad is? It's only 13 seconds long. It's of James sitting on a boat asking or telling people that they're fishing in the wrong place if they're not using Google advertising. It's such a simple ad, but I love it because it's very general and we can apply that video to several different niches or niches, however you say it. But we can apply it to several because it's a very generic ad. The minute we start going down the rabbit hole of talking to construction workers, then the entire campaign has to be about construction workers. And we can always manipulate the copy. We can have different variations of copy, but having a very simple video like that appeals to several different audiences gives us a great opportunity to test different ad copy and test different niches without having to create dozens of different videos. Now, in this case here, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead and crop it just to make it a little more better formatted for all of the meta placements. Typically, I would do it a 16:9 too, but in this case here, I don't want to have James's head cut off, so we're just going to keep the original in that case. Going next. Now, here's where you're going to grab your ad copy. And for me, one of the things I like to do, give me 1 second here. Now, when it comes to ad copy for Blaze Boost, I've created a project in Claude. I love using Claude for coming up with ad copy. You can use your personalized or custom GPTs, but in this case here, I love Claude because we have this project knowledge section, which has all of these different documents that we've uploaded or baked into it, including the Blaze Boost ICP. We have an entire process for creating your ideal customer profile. That document has been embedded into this project, along with all of our standard Facebook ads testing documents, Facebook ads knowledge documents. All of these different documents we're baking into this specific project, so it possesses the knowledge when we ask it for a prompt for Facebook ads, for example, or Facebook ad copy. It knows best practices, it knows best performing posts, best performing copy. It has all that intel when we go and ask for an output. I'm just going to give it a crack here and see what comes out of it. So in this case here, how can we help you today? I am creating a Google ad, I'm creating a meta ad campaign for Blaze Boost. We are promoting our Google ad services. Our target is small business owners. Now, based on that, Claude is going to give us some output. Okay, based on our ICP, which his name's Mike Henderson, it's just our ICP name. All of our ICPs have specific names. Based on your documents, I can see your ideal customer is a small business owner. Here are the options. And I'm just going to go through these. We don't need to go through these on this video, but I'm going to go through these and select one that I think is better than the rest. All right, so I found one that I like. Tired of paying for clicks but getting 0 phone calls. Local businesses like yours are seeing 3x more leads with our proven Google Ads system. Our Canadian team handles everything while you focus on your business. No more late nights figuring out marketing. Now, one good thing about Facebook is it does offer variations of that copy. So I can either use some of the ones that I got from my Claude, which I tend to prefer, or I can just simply select all text variations. I would caveat that by saying read through these to ensure it's saying the right thing. Sometimes Meta might be a little out there with what it says, and you don't want to be generating a poor lead because of poor ad copy that was put out there. In this case here, I am just going to keep that as is. I will edit it later on. The headline, your competitors are taking your Google leads. Oh, perfect. Let's just apply our text variations there as well. See 0 to 3x phone calls. Okay, sure. We'll just keep all that stuff. Description's typically optional. I'll usually put something in there as well. Usually I'll just take a paragraph from the website on the About Business section. Now, the call to action here is not necessarily sign up, but probably get a quote. So we're going to do that. Now you got all optimization. Sometimes it'll throw you through a loop here and I'll ask you to do the catalog, which is where you have images underneath the actual ad itself. We're not going to do that for this one here, nor are we going to translate. I don't think James will appreciate if he's getting calls from Mexico. So we're going to avoid that, or calls from people that speak Spanish. He does not speak Spanish, so we're going to avoid that. Okay, now once that's done, again, I would typically add more text options, more variables, the better when it comes to testing copy. Now, I just wanted to go back to the campaign level for a second. I do want to go ad set budget instead of campaign budget. Campaign budget is saying I want to spend $20 or $100 or $500 and Meta decide which ad set to put that money on. When that happens, sometimes you might get more leads from an audience that has a lower cost per lead. So for example, if you're targeting all of the US, and let's say you're targeting every single person in the US, there's a good chance you're going to have a low lead cost. As opposed to targeting a very niche audience. If you're targeting a niche audience, it's going to be a higher lead cost. So what's Meta going to do with a campaign budget? Well, it's going to allocate more money towards where you're getting cheaper leads. And that's not necessarily what you want to do. So in this case here, I want to have control over the ad set budget. So I'm going to select ad set budget here. Now, one last thing you want to do, this is very important. You're going to want to go to the ad set level, and you're going to want to go to cost per result goal. Here, you're going to see an option on how much do you want to pay Meta for a lead. In this case here, I'm willing to pay up to, for now, let's say $20 per lead. Okay. So Meta's going to try to get me as many leads as possible for under my max goal. Okay. Now, once I set that cost per result goal, it's not cost per result goal. It's actually bid cap. I want to control that bid. I want to make sure that Meta's not just blowing through my budget and having me pay $40-50 a lead. I want to cap it at 20. If I have to put that bid cap higher, I will. I'll cross that bridge when I get there. But for now, I'm going to set that bid cap at $20 per lead. And this makes sense now because I want to spend $500 a day. Nope, I don't want to spend $500 a day. I'll be happy to spend $500 a day if Meta will give me leads at $20 a lead. But for now, I want to keep it at that. Okay. Now with that, I'm happy with my campaign at this point. I'm going to go ahead and publish this first ad set. Right. So ads are not live yet. They're going through the review process. But now once I got to this point, I've done all the heavy lifting. All right. I've created the campaign. I've created the first ad set along with the ad. Now, the next step here is important because I want to target multiple audiences. I don't want to put all my eggs in this lookalike audience of people that hit our lead form. I want to target contractors with this ad. I want to target maybe even landscapers with this ad. I want to target repairmen, pool installers. All these home services I want to target with this specific ad because home services and those related fields I just mentioned are the ICP for Blaze Boost. Okay, so from there, what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to duplicate this and I'm going to create an original campaign for this. All right, just an original. Now, in this case here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this one contractors. And I'm going to keep everything the same, big control. Everything's going to stay the same on this campaign. The only thing that's going to change is the actual audience. I'm not targeting my lookalikes. I'm going to remove those. And in this case here, I am going to go for some detailed targeting. Okay, all things related to contractors. So let's say contracting, say construction. Now, typically for interest-based audiences, I don't use these so much. I want to keep them broad. I don't want to keep it too narrow. So I want to ensure that my audience has enough people in it so the algorithm can do its thing and put our ads in front of the right people. So let's just pick construction industry. And that's simple, just one simple interest. Maybe you can do 2 or 3, but so long as it's big enough, right? In this case here, the daily results say 2.7 to 7.9K, very big. And but again, my hope is that our ads get in front of the people that matter at these construction companies. And in order to do that, I need to tailor the copy to those business owners of construction or contracting companies. I've grabbed a couple additional interests: building materials, renovation, construction. Okay, we're going to roll with that. Now, because I'm targeting this new audience, I need to adjust the ad copy. I'm going to go over to my Claude, get some refreshed ad copy specific, tailored to this audience, and then I'm going to pop it into the ad section and replace what I had there. All right, I found some ad copy that works, so I am going to take out the other ad copy here that I'm testing, and I'm going to go ahead and put the new one. I really like the new one, actually, that my Claude came up with. While your team builds, your Google ads should be working just as hard. Contractors like you are seeing 3 to 5 new qualified project inquiries weekly with our specialized Google Ads management. We understand the seasonal cycles of construction and ensure you have consistent leads year-round so you never worry about covering payroll. Boom, it hammers the pain points too. That's why I love my Claude project so much. It hammers those pain points that we addressed in the ICP. From there, I'm going to go and take off the variations. Don't need those. Don't need those either. I'm going to change the headline, build your leads pipeline. Perfect. And we are good to go. So I'm going to publish that there. And so now I've created my campaign for targeting business owners, also targeting contractors. You can see I can just continue to do this across the board with different niches, right? Whether it's, I can do one next for pool installers. I can do one for, repair people. Essentially, I got the one ad, the one video, and doing multiple variations of ad copy thanks to my Claude, but just really duplicating those audiences with that one video. Now, the element that I'm testing here is not the creative, not the video. I'm strictly testing ad copy and audiences to find out which one of those niches can give me the lowest cost leads. That's the goal of this specific campaign. I'll keep you updated with how it goes. If you like this video, leave a comment below. If you have any questions, leave a comment below. Please like and subscribe. And until next time, we'll see you soon.